Bless up to you, bless up, bless up. Much love to you, much love to you. Thank you for being in the building. Okay. First thing I want to touch on today, straight up and down, is the notorious Biggie Smalls, Christopher Wallace. I was there thinking about it earlier, and a lot of people don't like to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to be real about it, because it don't make no sense at all. It really don't make no sense, like we call him the notorious Biggie Smalls, but his mother called him Christopher. And the sad thing about it is that he lived his life as a rapper when he got signed. He lived as a rapper. Before he got signed, he lived his life as a regular citizen, regular person, and the sad thing about this thing, because I really want people to really grasp what I'm about to say, because I am not holding no shorts right here. This may hurt a few people, but like the old Delvin would say, I don't care. You need to hear it. Now, Biggie mom's bust her butt as a single parent. He pursued something you call a rap career, something we call a rap career. And during his rap career, he reached to a certain stature and certain height in his rap career. But during his rap career, he had a so-called beef with somebody you call Tupac Shakur. And I'm not gonna say it how the media says it and how people said it throughout history. I'm gonna say it plain and direct how it should be said. Cause Biggie didn't have to die, Tupac ain't have to die, Pop Smoke ain't have to die, Nipsey ain't have to die, and there's a lot more black brothers I could name, but I'm gonna deal with Biggie right now. Because this is a problem that we need to stop, black men, and we need to really talk about this problem, because if we don't talk about this problem, I'm telling you, blood is going to shed even more, and it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. Because you can ignore what's going to happen, and you can ignore real things, but let me tell you, it's going to be a lot more bloodshed coming. And some people will be saying nowadays of how they manipulate things. Oh, that's not nice to say. Well, you know what? It ain't nice how people living, It ain't nice how my brothers are living, cuz street beef is street beef. Biggie ain't never had street beef with nobody on no West Coast. Did he? No, not at all. But in this nonsense joint you call the rap game, all of a sudden it became something Bad Boys versus Death Row, the East versus West, Suge Knight versus Puffy, Biggie versus Tupac. All these different scenarios. And one thing, when I looked at all of that growing up, because I lived through it, but when I look back at it, we was all in the mix of all of this nonsense going on. But when you look at it, the only thing that was happening was the black man was destroying himself and his own brother. That's it. Because when you really break it down and you really come to the ins and outs about this, nobody really wants to talk about Suge and Puff. Used to be cool. Nobody want to talk about that. But everybody want to talk about Pac getting that bad boy. Black men, don't we see the nonsense that we are doing to each other, where we are destroying each other? Nah, we don't see it because we gloss over it and we call it being gangster, or being tough, or being a thug. Okay. If you want to be gangster and you want to be a thug, don't complain when other people come at you. Don't complain. Because if you want to be a gangster and a thug to your own people, you better be a gangster and a thug all around the board to everybody. Okay? Don't just be selective. Because when you look at it, the hardcore truth, many people don't want to hear this either. Biggie was supposed to be a rapper. So you supposed to be a rapper, right? Why is it that black men in this rap industry, in this sick nonsense, why are you targeting each other? Why? Why? What's going on? Like, because I don't want nobody to tell me no nonsense about, oh, nah, man, nah. I don't want to hear the nonsense, okay? Because the real reality is the real reality. A lot of brothers got a lot of hate in their heart for each other. A lot of brothers got a lot of hate in their souls for each other, and that's the truth. And until a lot of brothers admit it, people can come with the little 2 words, self-hate. Nah, man, it's deeper than self-hate. It's deeper than self-hate. Self-hate is just something to gloss over it. You know, it's deeper. Money, material, what they call so-called good boys in this world. Watch you even try to assert. Hold on. Hold on. What is wrong with you? Why are you acting like that? So it ain't got nothing about being like he from the street or they went to school or they grew up in the neighborhood. No. It's deeper than the surface. R.I.P. to Biggie. For real. Shout out to Brooklyn. Alright. Now, next little topic, Robert Griffin III. Now, I don't like when a lot of people don't want to understand what it is to be black in life or what it is to be black in this world. If you don't understand that, you're just part of the problem too. Yeah, because it do got some people that use this blackness as a badge, yeah, this and that, to be disrespectful to people. No, I don't respect that at all. What I'm talking about is where you have Robert Griffin III. Yeah, you have a Caucasian wife. And to me, I don't even really care about that, but it seems like right now that you are showing your true colors where, like, you saying Angel Reese hate Caitlin Clark, like Mr. Brother, whatever you want to call yourself, Mr. Robert Griffin III. Like, why don't you stay out of that? You know, just leave that situation alone. And you talking about the WNBA or the girls from the WNBA, you know, because that ain't your field. And when it comes to talking about the sisters, that ain't your field either. Because you can't understand. Bless up, man. Bless up. Because you can't understand, okay, what it is for a black woman to feel how she feel in America. Yeah, you got a black mother, but you done bit the cheese long time ago, okay? Because if you thought Ryan Clark was talking to you, like, I'm talking to myself right now, trying, you know, like, I wouldn't throw mud on you, but it'll just be for real, because it's like, how much you try to diss a young sister and say that a young sister hate another young athlete because she's Caucasian, you know, how much you bless up Stardust. You older than Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You supposed to be somebody that's trying to cool the situation down. You're not supposed to be a person that's talking about people in Angel Reese circle called you and said how much she hate Caitlin Clark. That's just to show you the negative energy inside of you, and that's what we call a gossip spreader. Because you're going to tell me somebody in Caitlin, and excuse me for that, people. You're going to tell everybody that somebody in Angel Reese group text you and told you that she don't like her because she's getting attention. Man, you need to stop this. And this is the nonsense that they will do. They will try their best to make a black person look crazy in the media. They'll twist your words up. It's just like this YouTube games that these people play. You say something, they'll try to act like you said something else. They'll twist your words up and play little games, but Robert Griffin want to play the victim now, talking about people calling his family, all that. Like, let me tell you something. If you were to stay out of this in the beginning, or you would have talked properly about the situation in the beginning, you wouldn't be in the mess, and Shaq wouldn't want to punch you in your eye or punch you in your face. And many other people wouldn't want to punch you in your eye or punch you in your face or punch all over you. You know? Because I see we in the era where people could talk a lot nowadays, and there's no consequences to certain things that they say out their mouth. Let me tell you this, people. Be wise and watch what you say, okay? Because what you say will come back to haunt you one day, or will come back to possibly hurt you. So watch what you say out your mouth. Robert Griffin. I'm all for that, man. For real, excuse me. I can that situation and can that topic. Because I don't even like to stay on his type of energy anyway. He not even really worth it. If your logical thinker, bless up, man. Bless to you. Thank you for being in the building. As I was saying, like Robert Griffin Jr., the third, sometimes I don't even really like to talk about him because it's not even worth it when it comes to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, or him talking about the WNBA, or him talking about black women. Okay, because he has no common sense to the situation, and you should just stay out of situations like that and topics like that, For real, you shouldn't talk about things like that. You should talk about football. Talk about the rookies that's coming into the NFL. Talk about the season that's coming up in the NFL. Talk about the playoffs. Talk about football. Talk about quarterbacks. Talk about what you know. Okay? Don't talk about things that you don't know, Robert Griffin. And I'm all for him. Now, I'm going to get to my sad New York Knicks, because I'm going to call them sad New York Knicks right now, because only game we won in the Summer League was versus the Nets, and if my memory serves correct, that was 97-93. Today we played the Washington Wizards, and we lost 94-85, if my memory serves correct. Now, this is preseason, and you cannot judge a whole season from preseason. But, as I always say when it comes to basketball, I judge pretty hard, and I judge pretty strict. And yes, I'll be biased to a couple of players that I like on the New York Knicks, on the Summer League team, like Tyler Kolek. I think Paint is one of my new players too, like Hakporti, Pacone Daddier, Tyler Kolek. Those are a couple of my players on the Knicks that I think they will help us when the season come, it's just that, I don't know, people talking about Tyler Kolek is going to be a problem for us because he can't play defense good, but if you really want to be technical, we have a point guard called Jalen Brunson that can't play defense at all. So why are we complaining about a young rookie that it should take him time as a young basketball player? He is a rookie. Still, next year will be his sophomore year. So don't try to down somebody that's a young player in the NBA, and you're not going down a veteran that don't play defense and he's a superstar. That doesn't make sense at all. That doesn't make no sense at all. So just give Tyler Kolek some time, and if people don't think he could play defense, well, this is why we have 5 players on the team, and this is how I know that a lot of people are not very much creative in their basketball coaching mind. If a lot of these, and this is the thing about it, is a lot of so-called fans and people talking about that he's not good on defense, and there's a lot of other people too that's knowledgeable about the game. But the thing is, I will say like this. If you have to use help defense, use help defense. If you have to make somebody help him out. If you are a big organization as New York Knicks, train him, you know. So, like, it don't matter. I believe in the young kid. I believe in the young kid. We ain't draft him for nothing, right? Come on, Knicks. You know, like, and Cat and everybody else, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Deuce. The rest of the team just got to play like the New York Knicks. I believe we could do our due, man, and get to the NBA Finals next year, because that's the goal. NBA Finals next year or nothing. No excuses. Okay. Now my next topic. I always talk about people in the world. And I'm talking about everybody, not one race or one religion or one group. I talk about everybody, of all the humans on earth coming together. And some people may say, like, yeah, that's a hard thing. But it's not hard. Because those who are separated will always be separated. Those who separate the people will always look to separate the people. But those who have a certain bond around the world, don't matter what color, don't matter what religion you are, people will unite, because the difference is our color and our religion, yeah, and our ways of life. But once you breathe this oxygen in, and once you can see another human, you can see, like, as I always say, they would want all of us to divide each other and say, yeah, they over here. Nah, man. That's what they want to do. That's what they want. And the people been giving them what they want for a long time. But you can't get them what they want. You gotta get them what they don't want. And that's unity. It's different people from all over understanding each other. It's different people seeing each other in a different way, in a different light. There's people from all over the world not judging each other. There's people from all over the world not looking at their religion and thinking that just because they have a religion that they're better than the other person. There's people looking at each other and saying, just because this pigmentation on this person is different than my pigmentation, don't make me better or don't make me less than that person. These are certain things that these evil demons don't want to see, but you got to keep burning their skin. Keep pulling them out in the light, because people loving each other, that'll be their destruction. People waking up, that'll be their destruction. It's like Mortal Kombat. The more soul Shao Tsung take, is the longer he stay alive. But if Shao Tsung don't got no souls, he get old. And what happens when something get old? It get rotten. First it get rusty, then it get rotten, then it turned into dust. So if you see all of the people in the world get together, That's what'll happen to them. It will turn to dust. Because they have no control no more. They have no manipulation no more. They have no more green screens. They have no more, let me put this blind over your eyes. Let me control how you think. Let me control how you eat. Let me control how you feel. Let me control how y'all talk to each other. They don't have no more of that. Big up open-minded, big up elder, big up man, bless you. They don't have no more of that. If we look at each other, where if you see is a Chinese brother from China, and you and him talk, it ain't nothing about him being Buddha or Buddhist, excuse me, or you being a Christian. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Y'all seeing something different. And that's what they don't want the people to see, something different. With people looking at each other in a different way. I ain't gotta hate you. But that's what they want us to do. Nah. And it's so simple. And that's why I started this off with talking about Biggie Smalls. Because, as I said, he didn't have to pass away. Okay? He didn't. Because if people in the so-called ghetto, in the community that you call the hood, or whatever you want to call it nowadays, if we use our minds, we'll see the stupid nonsense we fighting for don't make no sense at all. Because as I said, a lot of these people, if you move it on to a person like Nipsey, oh, he tried to make a way for his community. And it wasn't like, he was one of those souls that you could tell he wasn't faking. You could tell that he had it inside of him. That what he was saying to his people and what he was saying, he wasn't bluffing. Hold on, let me read your comments, people. Good evening, ladies and gents. We are all tenants on this planet. People still do it and they know it's wrong. That's crazy. Well, a good 90% of the world is crazy, and they think that they're something that we use in the dictionary and in regular speaking terms, normal. They think that they're normal, you know? Like, I look at, it's crazy when somebody like Nipsey and others, you fight for your people, but some people may not understand your fight, you know, because, yeah, many people that judge him and say, oh, he was contradicting himself because he was a gang member. Well, let me tell you this. I don't think that brother was contradicting himself at all, because if you know Nipsey Hussle and you listen to his music, one thing you could know for sure about him is that he loved his gang, whether people hated it or like how it was. He loved his gang, and in his soul and his mind, he was being true to himself of loving his gang. You know, he was being true to him. You know, because it got to come to the point when you look at some people like Nipsey, and a lot of people, it's easy to just judge certain people just because they're in gangs. And I say, nah, because there's a lot of people that was forced into gangs, and there's a lot of people that wasn't forced into gangs. And there's a lot of people, whether people know it or not, had no choice. You know, and I know we like to say the nice thing of, yeah, you always have a choice. Well, when certain things are forced upon people, you don't have a choice, okay? You don't have a choice when something is forced upon you because you're just going to go with the flow, okay? And this is what we need to come to grips with, okay? Okay, let me get back to building. Now, when you looked at Nipsey, he did a lot of things for his community, South Central, Los Angeles. You know, and I liked his music. I like how he spoke too, because I'm not going to say like, see, I'm going to switch it up on people, you know. I'm not going to be like the regular, you know. He spoke like an African man, you feel me? And I know a lot of people will want to say, what are you talking about? His mother and father was from Eritrea, next to Ethiopia. And how a lot of people in this world that are melanated, a lot of them want to call themselves a lot of different things. It's cool, but a lot of your history draws right back to the motherland, whether you like it or not. And a good 94% of history in this world draws back to Africa. Okay, so no matter how they cover it up and twist it and lie about it, it still draws back to Africa, you know? And he wasn't scared to talk about Africa. He wasn't scared to talk about the culture of the people before him. He wasn't scared to talk about his people. He wasn't scared to talk about what we are supposed to talk about and how we are supposed to have our energy. You know, because it's sad when the black man don't know his place nowadays in this world. Okay? I don't care whether you think you're a West Indian man or whether you're quote unquote Latino, Hispanic, African American, or Canadian black man or German black man. I don't care what you consider, what type of black man you consider yourself. But it's a total shame when you don't know who you are and what you are. Okay? It's a total shame. Because you may be born somewhere else or you may be speaking a different language, right? But you are what you are. Okay? Don't try to switch it up. And I've seen a lot of people. I'm going to get off the man now. Seen a lot of people being ashamed to be black nowadays. And me, I don't care if I'm the last person on earth. I'm going to still wave that black flag. Okay? And when I'm gone off of this physical earth, you put a damn black flag in my casket as well, because I'm going to wave it over there as well. This don't stop. Okay? Because when we in the afterlife, that's just going to come naturally. But it's a shame nowadays when you see some people being ashamed to be black. They're ashamed. You know, and I see a lot of black people hiding You know, running in the closet, running under the bed, running in the house, running in the garage. You know, it's okay though, because it's time where we in these times right now, you're going to expose yourself. Okay, you're going to expose yourself. Because you could keep on eating the cheese. Keep on eating the cheese. But you're just going to expose yourself. Because if you got melanated skin and you're ashamed of that, it's kind of 50-50. I feel sorry for you and then I don't. Because if you really want to believe other people of what they tell you about the planets or the universe or Earth itself or humans, you must be kidding yourself. You know, because, yeah, it is nice and sweet and gravy for a lot of black people around the world to call themselves kings and queens, prince and princesses, royals. Yeah, it's cool. But when it comes to you knowing yourselves as the first humans on Earth, you run away from that. You shy away from that. And you look to others for foundation of humans. And like Tanya Stevens said, what a pity. What a pity. Okay? When you look to others for yourself. Okay, let me say it again. What a pity. When you look to others for yourself. Do you actually think they could teach you about you? Do you actually think they will tell you the truth about you? No. Because they'll keep lying over and over to the point where some people got used to the lies. The lies became normal. The lies became okay. And I don't like that nonsense of people keep on saying throughout the years, oh, if you don't challenge a lie, it becomes the truth. Where? 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 If you don't challenge a lie, it becomes the truth? Hold on. If these people is really playing with the laws of real life, right? Whether you challenge a lie or not, right? The truth is the truth. And a lie is a lie. Okay? You cannot reverse what happened in life. Not what human folly want to do and what human games want to play. And this is what you have to understand why I say humans and many times destroyed the natural nature of life and the love of life and the passion of life and the joy of life for all. Okay? Because this is the sick thing where I always tell people, man, I ain't talking about one, I'm talking about all. And when I say that with the humans, I'm talking about the animals, I'm talking about the birds, I'm talking about the fishes, I'm talking about the lions, the tigers, the deers, the rhinos, the hippos, the giraffes. Humans messed it up for all of them as well. You know, the bees, the ants, the gorillas, the chimpanzees, the monkeys, the koala bears, the grizzly bears, the seals, the ooders. Look at how much animals nowadays are endangered. Look how much animals that is probably only maybe 1,000 now. Because if you take it back from 6,000 years ago, it was probably a good majority of lions and tigers and bears on Earth. But when you look in what we call modern day 2025, what did the human man do? Something you call hunt. But he don't want to just say the word Kill. Don't matter if you change it around, it's still the same thing, you know? Hunting is Kill. ing. You know, like, it's still the same, you know, but they changed it so it could sound a little good, so it could sound smooth and could sound sweet, could go down better. But it's the same thing. You look at the bees. A lot of the bees are not here no more in the world. You see what they do to the cows every day. See what they do to the sheep every day. They don't use horses like they used to, but horses are still being used every day. And I remember I had a talk last week with one of the dudes at the racetrack. And I asked him, I said, do you ever think about how much damage the horses go through? And he told me, yeah, I've been riding them for 30 years. And it's sad when you think about a lot of the stuff that a lot of the animals in this world go through. Because if you think humans go through pain, or whatever you call it, of having a problem during your day, or just imagine an animal going through a problem during their day. Hold on. Sometimes you gotta help from the outside. If you don't challenge a lie, it's a lie. Well, sometimes, yes, you do gotta help from the outside. Or like the old school people used to say, sometimes you gotta help people with a yardstick. You know? Nowadays you gotta watch who you're helping, because the people that you're helping are hurting you. It happened back then too, but nowadays people are using people even more, and that's very nasty energy. You know? If you don't challenge a lie, it's a lie. A lie is a lie. You know, because it's like people, like, let me pick on him for right now, Mr. Christopher Columbus. That's like people still thinking he discovered America. Like, for the people that got it in their brain that he did discover America, Whoop-de-doo and good luck for you. But for the people that know it's a lie, you knowing that, yes, in history, you have to tell certain people the truth because you can't let them go with it. Because they did go with that lie. And they put that in history books, and they did put that in history where to the point where they tried to grow it into life. See, some people try to grow a lie into life, and you cannot do that because that's when you will have a chemical reaction. Okay? Negative energy and negative deeds put a chemical reaction into the positive outlook of the world. Okay, some people will tell you that, yeah, we need the negative and the positive. Well, it is somewhat true, because it's like a brother and sister going back at it, you know. But you need the good and you need the bad, because you see bad all the time, but you got the good to try to fight the bad, and you got the bad always trying to fight the good. They always going back and forth at each other like a ping pong machine, you know. But like I told my little cousin the other day, good gonna always prevail. It's just the real talk of things. It may look like bad is winning and bad is prevailing. But no, at the end of the day, good would always have the last laugh. And good would always laugh harder. Because positive energy and good energy will always reign supreme over whatever type of energy they think they could bring into this world. Okay, you can't beat that real soul force. You can't beat that powerful energy. They've been trying to manipulate it for years upon years. But you can't work with it, and you can't really do nothing good with it for a long time. You can only use it for how long you can use it. You know, for real, because that's all negative energy is positive energy in another dirty light. You know? It's just in a dirty form. And it's like a copycat. You know? They mirror each other. They mirror each other, and some elders and ancestors say they'll be clashing until the end of time. But I always had it in me to reign over evil. You know, because I told my cousin the other day, if people really think that evil got power and evil could win, just imagine what happens when positive use its power. You know, because I don't understand where people could always give negative energy so much power. The same power that dirty negative energy got, positive energy is way more powerful than that could ever be. But the mind state of a human and the energy, some people will think wrong like that. They will think that negative energy could reign over positive energy. No, no, no. No. You could just have a little party for a while, but as I said, you cannot reign over. can't reign over positive energy. They could just have a party for a while. You know, they just gonna play with it for a while. But they ain't gonna be nothing major. Mm-mm. Cause even all right now in 2025, I even hate saying that. Because as we all should know, we ain't even in no 2025. We're in a number that humans can't even count. You know? Or should I say we're in a year that humans can't even count yet. And no human alive really knows what year we're in. You know, because they'll tell people all type of lies, you know. Lies are their best friends. Along with their cousin distraction. They must lie and distract the people. But it's for you to read between the lies. And it's for you to keep your head straight or not look left or right and be distracted. Have tunnel vision and keep your head straight. You make sure you drive your vehicle, you keep your hand on the steering wheel. Don't turn left, don't turn right. Keep driving straight. Moving fast. Don't stop for nothing and don't stop for nobody. Because those stops are the distractions that they want you to pick up along the way. Before you got in the car, you know where you was going. You know you ain't got nothing to pick up along the way. So do not be distracted while you're driving. Okay? As I said before, keep your head straight and keep your hands on the steering wheel. And drive to your destination. Don't worry what's on the left and don't worry what's on the right. All you should be worrying about is getting to your destination. That's what you should worry about. Okay. Now my next topic I want to hit on is Jim Jones. As I say, a lot of people look at things in different ways, and I'm going to look at this in my way, how I look at it. Jim Jones mentioned a lot of people this summer. We got a lot of people, feathers ruffled. You got people talking. And seen a little interview that he did today. I don't remember who it was, but he was there talking about he want music smoke. And when he said that, I said, that's what I'm talking about. And one of the interviewers said, what about Jay-Z or somebody? And they was like, yeah. He said, he don't, no, I think he said, if I'm correct, he said Jada. You know, not Jay-Z, excuse me. He said Jadakiss. He said he don't care who it was. And I'm there like, okay, okay. See, people don't know, right? And this thing we call music, or should we say hip hop, rap music, we're gonna take it back to the elements. And with him saying that he want music smoke with anybody, when it comes to music, that's what I want to hear. That's what I like. You bringing me back, okay, to people that battled in the old days where I grew up on, where you got people like Ninja Man and Super Cat, okay? Got Ninja Man and Super Cat. You know what it's like to see Ninja Man and Super Cat battling on stage? It's sick, okay? That's music. Two DJs going back and forth at it, banging out, okay? Freestyling lyrics. That's the music, yo. That's the game. That's the art. Don't matter how long their careers went. From Bounty to Beanie, going at it. On stage shows. Stin 93. You know? The verses with Bounty and Beanie. You know, like, for example, you know, like, it got kind of crazy with these two, but nothing ain't really happened. You know, it wasn't nothing extreme. Jay-Z and Nas. But Jay-Z, you ask me any day, he got ethered. Nas crushed him. Cause I don't care what nobody say. Nas is the better artist. Always. Nas is a better artist than Jay-Z. You know. But confidence is confidence, and Jim Jones said he want music smoke with anybody in the rap game, and like, I hope somebody step up, you know, even though it looked like Nas made a verse to a track called All Murder with him and Rick Ross, and it's okay. Let's see if Jim Jones respond. You know? You know he will respond, you know. But let's see what the people say about it. Because this ain't about... That's the thing that I don't like with some people in the world when it comes to anything. Like, this ain't about your name. Because this is about, like, it's about the music. Really making the music expand and, like, let's see who could really play with these words. Let's see who's more versatile. Let's see who's more lyrical. Or let's even see who can make a better club song. Let's see who can make a song that makes sense more. Let's see who could touch the masses more. Let's see, like, and y'all helping each other out. You know, it ain't supposed to be like, yeah, we making songs or we making freestyles, and then after that we looking to beat each other up. Stop that childish nonsense. You know, that's childish and that's nonsense. Ain't no need for you to be fighting over tracks. You know, like lyrical warfare is lyrical warfare all day, but as soon as you want to take it outside the booth, that's when you gotta understand, man. I'm saying this to everybody. Leave what's in the streets in the streets. Do not bring no street shit to the music. And that's how you know how some people don't know how to handle business. Okay, because no matter how you twist and turn it, what's in the streets is in the streets. And certain things in the streets was it never supposed to reach the public eye. But it did. You know, because of a lot of clown people. And certain people want attention and certain people don't have no sense. You know, see, because you got to understand this. As I said, this is a warning. When I say people don't have no sense, you want to show things on the internet or you want to talk about certain things, but then after that, what happens? Master comes and arrests you. And what do? Scream and bawl and cry. They hating on me, man. They hating on me. Nah, man. If you want to be a bad man, or you want to be a girl from the gully side, got to take your beatings, man. Okay? You can't cry. And that's one thing I tell you, a lot of so-called street people are hypocrites. If you want to party all day, and I don't mean it's partying, but I mean enjoying everything that you done enjoyed in the streets, and then you want to say, oh man, I can't deal with this, of how the government is treating you, or how the law enforcement is treating you. Let me give you news flash. They're doing their job. They're supposed to treat you unfair. What you think? Just because they told you slavery was over in 1865, that you think this joint done? Like somebody once said, it's done when I say it's done. So it ain't done. And that's why I'm going to just put some words to the wise right here that could understand. You have all that structure, right? Use that structure for good. Or use that structure to protect your people for real. Because that day will come where you're going to have to be a soldier for real. Not a street soldier. Sometimes you gotta take heed, man. You gotta see life in another way. Not how you want. For real. Thank you to everybody that joined this live. Hope everybody enjoying their day. God bless to you. Lion love. I'm out.